All right, good evening, Arkansas. This is Assistant Chief Forecaster Kevin back here once again. I'm here to give you guys an update on what's going on across the natural state here. So we've been talking about this for the last couple of days, how there was a potential winter weather across Arkansas, primarily central and south Arkansas. And this is what we're seeing at this point here. So right now at the Weather Center, we've got 31 degrees with some freezing rain ongoing across the area, some sleet maybe mixing in as well. We also got some activity going on down there in southern Arkansas at this point here. So we do have that winter weather advisory. We'll get over here in just a bit, but I want to stress to you guys that this is not going to be a significant winter storm for us here in Arkansas. This activity is going to move out very quickly and should be out here by the time we get into the overnight hours. However, the problem remains is that temperatures are going to get below freezing during the overnight hours, right? So that means that we're going to have to watch for bridges and overpasses during the overnight hours to the first part of your Sunday morning here. So we're going to zoom down to the metro for just a bit. And let's talk about what's going on here. As you can see, the pinks, the purples that you're seeing on your radar here, this is the freezing rain and even some sleet being mixed in at times, moving through central Arkansas and is moving its way into northeastern Arkansas as well. Cold rain down in southern Arkansas at this point, but I can't rule out a few sleet pellets, maybe some freezing rain mixing in for you guys down there, especially in south central Arkansas at this point here. So let's talk about temperatures. Let's talk about what we got on the board for temperatures right now here. And this is where the 32-degree line is across north central and into central Arkansas here. So that's the temperatures right now. Let me double check and make sure this is updating here. So we're right around the 31-degree mark here in the Weather Center, which is in western Pulaski County, and then at the National Weather Service office in North Little Rock, we're at 32, and in downtown Little Rock, we're seeing at about 34 right now here. So you got a mixed bag of precipitation across central Arkansas. Southern Arkansas right now, 34, 35 degrees, a cold rain down there in southern Arkansas, but you do have some sleet that is ongoing across southern Arkansas at this point. Northern Arkansas right now, this activity should stay south of you because you have a lot of dry air up there in northern Arkansas, and it's going to take a while for that dry air to kind of erode. So north Arkansas, you will probably be missing out on this event. This is primarily going to be central, eastern Arkansas, and in southern Arkansas here. And eastern Arkansas does not need the ice or freezing rain or anything over there in eastern Arkansas because you guys are still dealing with the power outages from the last system we just got through dealing with here. So, before, if you guys let me know in the comments, what are you guys seeing across the board here in Arkansas here, especially in central and south central Arkansas here. So we got sleet in Morrilton right now. Tris, thank you for keeping us updated. We do this all the time, guys. We appreciate y'all for being here. Okay. Hello from Malvern. Let's see here. Everyone's ready for spring and summer. I'm ready for that too, guys. We got freezing rain in Woodland. The Woodlawn area, excuse me. Rain in Cabot right now here. So this is what I'm talking about. So you're right around that 34, 35-degree area in central Arkansas, right just south of the metro. So you're kind of seeing a mixed bag here. You're missing sleet, freezing rain, and rain all going across this area here. But you go further north, freezing rain and sleet. You go further south, you're running into the cold rain here. So kind of a mixed bag right now here. Freezing rain in Cove Creek, excuse me. Freezing rain now in Cabot here. So it's kind of a mixed bag in Cabot right now. Rain and sleet in BB right now. So I do appreciate y'all for the updates here. Those ground reports really helps us out across the board here. So, as said before, let's talk about the winter weather alerts that are on the board right now here. So this goes until midnight tonight. And this is for that winter weather advisory, right? That winter weather advisory that's in place across central Arkansas, north central Arkansas here. And this goes for the potential of a glaze, possibly up towards 10th of an inch of ice across the area. Mainly watch out for the elevated surfaces. Those are your bridges, your overpasses tonight. You got to watch for those as we get towards the overnight hours here. Travel may become hazardous in some places across the winter weather advisory area here. So just kind of keep that in mind. Wouldn't do any traveling during the overnight hours here. Just kind of hang back. Tomorrow morning, kind of watch the overpasses and the bridges. The main roads should be relatively okay, but still, we're going to have to watch that during the overnight hours here. This shouldn't be a significant event for us here, but as you all know, it doesn't take much freezing rain for us to have some issues across the area here. So just kind of keep that in mind here, and especially tomorrow afternoon, we should be rebounding back into the 40s and even some low 50s here. So this is going to be a very quick event. It should be out of here by the time we get towards overnight hours tonight into the early part of your Sunday morning here. But I kind of want to repeat that this is not going to be a winter storm. Just got that question. So right now, it's a wait and see, Jimmy. I don't want to say this is the last one, and then we get into March and then we see something here. So for the short term period, for the next 7 to 14 days, yes, this is probably going to be our last winter weather event. Could it happen in March? It's still a wait and see. You know, Arkansas weather has a mind of its own. So right now, for at least the next 14 days, we shouldn't see any more winter weather here. Now, now flooding and the potential of severe weather is on the table here, but in terms of winter weather for the next 14 days, I'm not seeing it across the board here once we get past tonight, of course. So this is what we got across the board here. So for that winter weather advisory goes until midnight tonight for these counties here in central Arkansas and northeastern Arkansas as well. That includes Interstate 40 and also portions of Interstate 30 as well here. So just kind of repeating what I'm saying here. Be careful on the roadways tonight. Especially on the bridges and the over the passes. If you don't have to necessarily get out tonight, just kind of chill back, relax. Tomorrow we should be rebounding back into the 40s and in the low 50s here. So we're going to go back to our state radar real quick, and then I'm going to go over Futurecast for you guys. And then I'm probably going to hop off of this live stream. Just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a view of what's going on here. So the precipitation that you're seeing is kind of similar to the last event. If it's raining, you want to check your temperatures, because if you're at 31, 32 degrees, that's considered freezing rain. If you're above 32 degrees and it's a cold rain, and then you all know what sleet looks like. So this is what we got kind of at the board right now. Central Arkansas, a mixed bag of precipitation. I've gotten reports of sleet, I've gotten reports of freezing rain, and I've gotten reports of cold rain here, all in the central Arkansas area. So kind of a mixed bag of everything at this point. But it should be getting out of here by the time we get towards the late evening and into the early part of your overnight hours as well here. So the Jonesboro area, this can be moving into the Jonesboro area, I would say probably with the next 30 to 40 minutes here. It's quickly moving into northeastern Arkansas. Now, I want to throw this out here, especially in southern Arkansas. You guys are getting some beneficial rain down there with this. I know it's kind of a weak system, but you guys need all the rain you can get down there in southern Arkansas with the drought in place. So this is some good rain for you guys down there in southern Arkansas here. But as said before, travel-wise, it shouldn't be that big of an issue. But I would watch out for the bridges and the override passes tonight. If you don't have to get out, I wouldn't get out tonight, folks, especially if you got to go on the bridges or the overpasses here. If it's like a short stop here and there, just kind of make it quick and kind of watch out on the roads. The one thing I want to stress is we had a lot of traffic incidents this morning, especially on I-530. Please keep in mind that when you have freezing rain and sleet, especially on the interstates, those are areas that will become slick and will be very, very hazardous whenever you're dealing with winter weather here. So just kind of keep that in mind. We'll keep you guys updated on that. We'll have you guys updated on the traffic and stuff like that, how the roads are going to be shaping up. This won't be enough to cause any power issues as well. Probably a tenth, maybe in some cases as high as a quarter of an inch of freezing rain, especially in central Arkansas, depending on where we can get some of those heavier bands to kind of set up. But this should quickly move out by the time we get towards the midnight hours here. So, that being said, let's go ahead and talk about your Futurecast statewide precipitation for the area here. So this is right around 7 o'clock this evening here, folks. I'm going to kind of zoom this out so you guys can see it a little better here, okay? So this is your Futurecast at this point. It's right around 7 o'clock this evening, okay? So it's doing a relatively good job here, but you can see what happens by the time we get towards this evening here. So bear with me for just a bit. Let me switch this over, okay? Let me go back over to here. So I was looking at data before I came up to the live stream here. So there we are. So this is right around 7 o'clock here. Let's take this out. So right around about 8 o'clock now, we've got precipitation across central Arkansas. Let me see if I can get this to loop for you guys here. So bear with me for just a bit. Let me go out to about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to loop here for you guys. So just kind of keep in mind that we're going to have to watch that very closely during the overnight hours here, but this should quickly move off towards the east here. So for our folks in southern Arkansas, this is going to be primarily a cold rain for you guys. Central Arkansas is where you're going to see the most activity at this point here. So this is loading up, by the way. Give it a second or two. But you can see by 10 o'clock tonight, really over central Arkansas. So you're going to be dealing with this for the next couple of hours, for the evening hours. But then by the time we get towards midnight, it should be getting out of here very quickly here. But kind of watch out. Probably around that 1, 2 o'clock time frame for some freezing drizzle. And then by the time 3 a.m. gets out of here, we are all set and done at this point here. So I'm going to kind of put this back in a full screen for you guys while I have that looping through here. Okay, let me see if I can get that to, there we go. So that's what we have at this point. You're going to see it's going to kind of loop through. But I have from about 1 a.m., you can see 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's going through, and then by 3 o'clock, it's completely out of here. So what is the earliest update? What is the earliest you guys update? We get up at 4:30 a.m. Nan, the one thing I want to stress, with you getting up that early is kind of watching out on the bridges and overpasses. We are going to have updates throughout the night for the road conditions. But you can always check that information out on iDrive as well. Just in case you don't see an update from us, you can always check out iDrive.com. That's where you can find all that information at this point. But you can see it's kind of looping through. About 8 o'clock tonight, there we go, 9 through Central Arkansas here. So Central through East Central Arkansas and Northeastern Arkansas is going to be your primary target where that winter weather advisory is. Southern Arkansas, you should be a cold rain. Northeast Arkansas, Central, and Eastern Arkansas is where you're going to see the majority of the winter weather for the night, and then it should be out of here by the time we get towards first thing tomorrow morning here. But kind of watch out on the bridges and the overpasses during that time frame here. So I know a lot of people got travel first thing in the morning, got to go from Cabot to Little Rock. Main thing I want to stress to before, kind of watch out on the bridges and overpasses tonight, okay? Those interstate areas, I don't know if they pre-treated the roads for this or not. I haven't had a lot of information on that about that, but the one thing I do want to stress is kind of watching out on those interstates for tonight here, but you can see what it does. This precipitation gets out of here by the time we get towards 2, 3 o'clock in the morning here, and then we get the stage set for what could be a very, very warm week for us here in Arkansas, and it could end on a stormy note for us as well. I'm going to have more information on that by the time we get towards this time tomorrow evening here. So try to keep that in mind here. I was going to do a 7-day forecast tonight, but then all this kind of popped up. So it's being delayed here, but I will go over that tomorrow here. So it looks like a fog over Batesville, Independence County right now. That's freezing fog, by the way. Your temperatures are below freezing up there, so that's probably freezing fog up there in Independence County right now here. And that's the other thing you're going to have to watch out, probably especially in northern Arkansas here, with all that low-level moisture coming in. You may have to watch out for some freezing fog up there, but it shouldn't be too big of an issue across northern Arkansas here. So I'm going to draw this out and show you guys the area of target. So you can see what our Futurecast does, okay? So that's the area of target. I'm circling yellow right now, okay? That's going to be the area to see freezing rain, sleet as we get towards this evening and into the early part of your overnight hours here. South of here should be a cold rain, okay? Dry up here in northern Arkansas. Then we're going to have to watch west central Arkansas, especially in higher elevations, for a little bit of freezing rain, some sleet by the time we get towards this evening and it's early part of overnight hours here. But I kind of want to repeat that this should not be a winter storm for us here in Arkansas, okay? But the one thing I don't like is how we're sitting in freezing rain for a couple of hours, because freezing rain, it doesn't take much at all. It doesn't take much at all to cause a little bit of traffic issues here, especially on the interstates here in Little Rock. So far, if you don't have to travel tonight, I wouldn't advise it, but if you do have to get out, especially if it's like super close, just be careful on the roadways here. The main road should be relatively okay as long as we stay around that 30-31 range. The main roads and stuff should be fine, but you're just going to have to watch the elevated surfaces like the bridges and the overpasses. We start falling to 28, 29 degrees. That's where we're going to have a little bit of a different story across the area here. So we got freezing rain and trees across Searcy. Also, guys, if y'all are seeing winter weather, feel free to inbox us, okay? We love posting y'all's photos on the page. We give y'all credit as well. So if y'all are seeing winter weather right now, send us a video or send us a photo. We'll get it up for you guys on the main page here. So let me see here. So we're watching right now, cold and rainy in Dawson. And so for if you guys are seeing a cold rain right now, that's a really good story. You want a cold rain whenever you're dealing with freezing rain and sleet, because that means your road conditions are not going to be bad there, right? So light drizzle across Nashville, and it sounds like it's going to stay that way. I agree. Down there in southwest Arkansas, bring on a warmer area here. Now I'm going to tell you guys this, and there's always that one saying here in Arkansas: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it's going to change. Okay, temperatures are going to warm up by the time we get towards this week here. Now, the problem is that temperatures warming up, another storm system is going to come our way, okay? Warmer temperatures, another storm system. Severe weather and potential flooding will be our next weather maker by the time we get towards next weekend here. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm going to talk to you guys more about that tomorrow here. But the warmer weather will be here this week. It's at least going to be a quiet week for us here in Arkansas. But Next weekend is where things could get a little rocky for us here in a natural state here. So I'm going to go back here and just kind of showing everybody the Futurecast right now, trying to give everybody at least an accurate timing on what we're looking at. Temperatures right now, if I can see if I can do this real quick, I should be able to pull up temperatures at this point with the Futurecast still running. So bear with me for just a second. Give me one bit. I'm going to see if I can get that up. Okay, so while the Futurecast is running up, by the way, those are your current temperatures here. So right now, upper 30s, near freezing mark here in central Arkansas. The area in the winter weather advisory is right around freezing. But as long as we stay between that 30 to 32 degree range, we should be okay. Once we go below the 30-degree mark is where you start having issues with freezing rain and sleet here. But freezing rain and sleet can still accumulate on the trees, can still accumulate on some power lines. I'm not expecting any sort of major issues here, but still, doesn't take a lot of freezing rain to get the job done in terms of impacts here, especially on the bridges and any overpasses here as we get towards night here. So, is anyone still watching from without power here? Portions of eastern Arkansas are still without power, folks. We're going almost 72 hours without them being out of power, guys. That's a ice storm for you right there here. So my number one advice for those that are watching this and you're out of power right now, limit your time outdoors, okay? You do not want to go outside as much because you're going to be letting that cold air in and you're losing the heat in the house, okay? So if you're out of power right now, stay indoors. Energy is going to be working their tails off to try to get you guys power back on here. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have a estimated time frame here because like I said, we're approaching 72 hours out and we still have some outages across eastern Arkansas. So let me check something real quick on energy and the others real fast here, see if there's any kind of estimated time frame for them to have the power back on. But right now, as far as I saw this morning, they don't have an estimated time frame across the board here. So been without power since Thursday. Yeah, I know it's going on 72 hours without power, and that's another thing I was worried about whenever we were looking at the Futurecast from a couple of days ago, and it was showing the 1 inch plus totals there. Those are the kind of freezing rain that can produce power outages here. So still ice on trees across Jonesboro. And another thing is temperatures have had a hard time getting above freezing for the last couple of days because of the cloud cover in place. Alright, so I'm kind of taking a look at something here. If you guys need timing, by the way, take a look up here. Okay, so I'm going to circle this real quick. So if you guys are needing timing, take a look up here. Okay, so that's where your timing is going to be at this point. This is Futurecast kind of playing out right now here. So if you're needing that timing, take a look at the map right now here while I'm looking up this other information at this point here. So right now, in terms of the energy area, I believe, okay, so I believe they're going to, for most of them, is tonight at 10 p.m. Now, the problem I have with that is you've got precipitation moving into that area. You got precipitation moving into eastern Arkansas. So that's going to kind of stall out the trying to bring the power back on across eastern Arkansas. And they can't work without with precipitation falling here. So due to winter weather that's presently over your area, we're experiencing numerous scattered outages. Energy personnel are working quickly as safely as possible. They are planning at least between 8 and 10 p.m. tonight here, but they're going to have a challenge with this precipitation run moving through that area here. I say probably at least tomorrow morning or tomorrow midday, we should majority have the power back on across the area. But my heart does go out to those that have been out of power for about 72 hours now. I know how it is losing power and it's this cold outside here. So if y'all have any more questions, please let me know. Angie, about those weather apps, I know they're going to say snow. I've had a lot of questions about them, about those weather apps today. The aloft temperatures today are not going to be supportive of snow. This is a freezing rain and sleet event versus a snow event. Okay, I'm not expecting any sort of snow with this event at all. You're just way too warm upstairs to support snowfall across the area here. So, unfortunately, everyone's been kind of wanting that snow across the area, but freezing rain and sleet looks to be the primarily precipitation type for us tonight here. I'm not expecting any sort of snow. You're just way too warm aloft to support snowfall across the area here. So if y'all have any questions about that, because I've had a lot of people contact us about especially a couple of apps showing the 2 to 4 inches of snow across the area. I promise you're not getting snow out of this one. This is going to be another ice event for us here in Arkansas. So if y'all have any more questions, please let me know. I was kind of making this kind of quick because I wanted to give you guys kind of a little bit of a live update on what's going on across the area here. So Whitney, is just raining in Little Rock. That is debatable. Just check your temperatures. Right now, I got 34 here in the metro. In the weather center, we're at 31. So it's kind of a mixed bag between everything. Some folks are seeing rain here in the metro. Some are seeing freezing rain. I've got other reports saying that we're seeing sleet, especially on the south side of Little Rock right now. So it's kind of a mixed bag of precipitation, a wintry mix across Arkansas, across the Little Rock area at this point, at this point here. So, let me see here, 23 highway, just cold. Let me see here, it's raining all day, didn't know it was supposed to rain. Jennifer, we've been talking about this last couple of days. That's why we urge you guys to share our page, share our posts with your family and friends. That way you guys aren't blindsided by these events here. We actually talked about this in the middle of the ice storm on Thursday here. We said this was another possibility on Saturday here. So, I do appreciate y'all for being here, but that's the one thing for you guys. Be sure to share our page with your family and friends. That way they're not blindsided with these types of events here across the area. So it's pouring across East End and Hensley, currently 34 degrees in a cold rain, but going down to 32 and back up. So I did have that one question earlier. Somebody just sent me a message about it. So I did have one question earlier here. How are we so accurate with the temperatures? Because the last couple of days, the last couple of events, we've been forecasting temperatures to be colder, and that's what's actually happening. I want to give you a little bit of a lesson here. So whenever you're looking at computer model guidance and you're trying to figure out temperatures, and they're screaming at you that it's 40, 45, 50 degrees, and your dew points are in the 20s, and you've got moisture moving in, your temperatures, your surface temperatures, got to meet the dew points. Whenever you get rainfall, you've noticed, if you take a look at your real-time observations, you notice how your surface temperature and your dew points are always the same temperature when it's raining. It even happens in the summertime. So whenever you're dealing with winter weather, if your dew points are, let's say, 28, and your surface temperature is 37, and precipitation starts falling, then your dew point's going to rise, but your surface temperature is going to fall. So it's going to meet right in the middle, and problem is sometimes guidance doesn't pick up on that, and you end up 3 to 5 degrees below where the guidance had, and you end up with a completely different story. And you guys know, whenever you're dealing with winter weather, especially freezing rain, 1 degree can mean the difference between a cold rain and a full-blown ice storm. So that's how we've been kind of forecasting the temperatures. I know guidance has been kind of throwing 40s, even today. It had 40s, and even some low 50s across southern Arkansas, and that didn't happen. We stayed in the 30s all day because the cold air that was still in place here. So just kind of wanted to give you guys a little bit of a lesson about that. I know everybody's been kind of asking us over the last couple of days how we forecasting the temperature so well. It's just that little thing. The dew points, when your dew points are in the 20s, that's an immediate alarm bell. Okay, if your dew points are in the 30s, low 40s, be a different story. But if your dew points are in the 20s, then that's a completely different story whenever you're trying to forecast winter weather here. So let me see. Stevens still has ice and trees on a power line in Jonesboro from the last round here. Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is the current wind across the area as well here. So let me double check something real quick. We'll double check something real fast here. I don't think we have a lot of wind issues across the area. I know for the last couple nights we've been dealing with 15 or 20 mile per hour wind gusts here, especially last night. But right now, we don't have a lot of wind across the area, so that's good news here. And this is quickly moving off to the east here. But you can see central Arkansas is just basically stuck in the middle of winter precipitation right now here. And then you've got northeast winds as well. And this is what's been holding your temperatures down too, is northeast winds across the area here. So freezing rain, your equipment right now near Pryor Mountain up there. Heavy rain across Arkansas County right now here. And so forth. That may mix with some sleet, maybe a little bit of freezing rain depending on how fast your temperatures fall over the next couple of hours here. So let's take a look at something real quick. Let's go to your dew points real fast, okay? So this is your current dew points here, okay? And you're noticing something here. I'm going to kind of take off the radar for just a bit. And I'm going to show you guys something here, okay? So look at your dew points, okay? So your dew points here, that was today. And then as soon as precipitation started falling, your dew points started climbing, okay? So you've got a dew point of 28 degrees, okay, here in Metro. Let's go here, okay? And there's your surface temperature. Okay, so your surface temperature right now is sitting around, if you're about weather center is 31, the downtown area is about 34 right now, okay? So as precip continues to fall and your dew point is at 28, then your temperatures are going to continue to fall to match your dew point, okay? So that's what we've been looking at. That's how your average of forecast temperatures here. So that's a really good call to go for the winter weather advisory across the area, because temperatures will probably be around between a 30 and a 32 degree area across the area here. So we're going to go back to our statewide precipitation radar here. I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then we're going to hop off of here. But I do appreciate y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all for listening to this live stream here. I was going to do a video update, but I figured it'd probably be best for me to do a live, because I know we got winter precipitation kind of ongoing across the area here. So thunder rain. We got some thunderstorms actually across the area here. Bear me for just a bit. I'm going to take a look at something real fast here. So let's see. Give me 1 second here. I'm going over everything. Okay. Alright. So alright, thanks for that report. Okay, so I was checking report. Sorry about that. So, showing freezing rain on radar, but just liquid here, and Hot Springs around 33 degrees here, and that's kind of the effect, especially in downtown. We call that the heat island effect, and basically it shelters, well, it keeps the downtown area from getting to 32 degrees, or it does get 32, but it's a very hard way to get to 32 degrees there. So some areas are seeing a cold rain, some areas are seeing sleet, some areas are seeing freezing rain. It's kind of a wintry mix, a bag of winter precipitation across the board here. So that's why you're seeing everything across the area here. So Debbie, I did see your comment about thunder and rain. North Howard, that's Pike County down here in southwestern Arkansas at this point here. So I can't rule that out, by the way, as well. We did have some thunderstorm activity down there in southwestern Arkansas earlier. I'm not seeing any sort of lightning being detected. I can double check and make sure on that, but I'm not seeing any sort of big-time lightning being detected on our radar right now here, which is great news. We do not need thunder and lightning with this, because that would just accelerate your totals here. We're trying to get this out as quick as possible before it tries to do any major impacts here. So, kind of reiterate, winter weather advisory is in effect until midnight tonight. If you're planning on traveling, be very careful on the roadways, especially the bridges and the overpasses, the elevated areas, the sidewalks, etc. Be very careful in those areas as well. We're going to continue updates. Okay, we'll have updates on road conditions. As a matter of fact, right now, I think we're good in terms of the roads, but I'm going to double check on that real fast. So I'll upload iDrive real quick, and we're going to check on that real quickly here. But right now, in terms of road conditions at this point, let me double check something real fast. Okay, it should be loading up really quickly. Okay, we don't have any issues on the roads right now, which is great news. And that's the thing. Whenever you're at 30, 31, 32 degrees, you're not seeing those impacts with the roads. It's the 28, 29, 30 degrees is where you start having some impact across the area here. So as long as we stay between 30 and 32, we should be good to go across the area here. But just kind of watch out for those bridges and the overpasses areas, and then the area, the elevated areas like on sidewalks and stuff like that, or in hills. Just kind of watch that very closely during the overnight hours tonight. And I am picking up, as a matter of fact, I am picking up some lightning detection over here in far eastern Saline County and western Lonoke County over here. So just kind of keep that in mind. You guys may see some thunder, some lightning. If y'all get that on video or photo, please send that our way. We had that with the last event, and you guys sent some awesome footage in to the weather center here. So if y'all see that, please keep that in mind. But let's see here, had a lightning strike west of Dirks down there in southwestern Arkansas earlier. So just got to keep that in mind. There is a good amount of aloft instability with this here, but it shouldn't cause too big of impacts. But we're going to watch the situation very, very closely here. So what I'm going to do for just a bit, okay, I'm going to take a look at the HR, and then we're going to watch that very closely. But yeah, watch out for blackouts in the morning. Major issues from that this morning, especially on I-530. I was hearing nothing but wrecks going on I-530 this morning here across the area. So please, folks, if y'all have to get out first thing in the morning, please be very careful on the roadways here, folks, especially on the bridges and in the overpass areas here. So we'll take a look at the HR for just a bit. I saw the HR earlier where it was trying to produce a quarter of an inch of rain, freezing rain over the area. I think it has backed off, but we'll have to watch that very close. We'll keep you guys updated on all that here. So Thunder and Pearson with sleet at this point. So it's like I said before, it's a mixed bag of precipitation across the board here, guys. So that's all I have for y'all right now. Radar updates are going to be continued on the page. We're going to have road conditions as soon as they start getting bad right now. We don't have any road conditions. We don't have any bad road conditions at this point, but if we start seeing that during the overnight hours, then we'll keep you guys updated on that. Power outages should not be a big deal. However, it is going to mess with you guys over there in Eastern Arkansas, especially those that are still out of power because they can't work with precipitation still falling across the area. So, starting to see rain, sleet mix in Batesville, sleet in Morrilton at this point here, okay? So, we'll continue to keep you guys updated right here in your source for all things Arkansas weather.